Can you believe what she said in that meeting? Your colleague is venting, and you have about 3 seconds to decide what kind of leader you're going to be. Most people freeze. They nod along, change the subject, then feel gross about it later. The problem? Nobody taught us what to actually say. Well, I'm giving you 3 moves that redirect gossip in under 30 seconds without lecturing and without damaging the relationship. Then I'll show you how to stop this at the team level so you're not the only one holding the line or relying on willpower. Here's the situation. You're in the workroom, a colleague corners you and starts unloading about another teacher. You've got 3 moves. Move 1, acknowledge. This takes 3 seconds. You say something like, "I hear you, that sounds frustrating," or "I can tell this is really weighing on you." Here's why this matters. In the research by Amy Edmondson on psychological safety, she shows that people can't shift focus until they feel heard. If you skip acknowledgement and go straight to the redirect, they get defensive. 3 seconds of acknowledgement buys you permission to redirect. Move 2, set the boundary. This is where most people freeze because they don't want to sound preachy. And here's the key. In Bill Torbert's book, Action Inquiry, he calls this framing. You make your stance visible, but you frame it as protection, not correction. You could say this: "Here's my thing though. I try not to talk about people when they're not around. I'd want that same protection if it were me, you know?" Notice what you're not saying. You're not saying, "That's unprofessional." You're not lecturing. You're offering them a gift. "I protect people, including you." That lands completely different. Move 3, redirect to action. You're not leaving them hanging. You're offering a path forward. You could say something like, "What do you think would happen if you brought this to her directly?" Or maybe this: "Do you want to think through an approach to that conversation?" So the whole thing sounds like this: "I can tell this is really weighing on you. Here's my thing though. I try not to talk about people when they're not around. I'd want the same protection. What do you think would happen if you brought this to her directly?" 30 seconds. Relationship intact. Gossip redirected. Now, that works for one conversation, but here's the problem. Every time you redirect, you're relying on your own willpower, your own personal integrity. What happens when you're not in the room? The gossip continues, and if negative talk keeps surfacing, you don't have an individual problem, you have a culture problem. And this is the part that leaders never get taught. And individual integrity can't solve a culture problem. That requires a different kind of solution. The team culture shift. Here's one of my absolute favorites: How the Way We Talk Can Change the Way We Work, from Kegan Lahey. And Kegan Lahey's research discovered that individual integrity is not enough. You need organizational integrity. That's a shared agreement that the team co-owns. And here's Kegan Lahey's big insight: without agreements, there can be no violations. Think about it. Without a shared agreement, gossip is just a private annoyance. You feel uncomfortable, but there's nothing for the team to rally around. In your next team meeting, ask this question: how would you want a colleague to handle it if they were significantly bothered by something you did? Let them discuss. They'll arrive at, "I'd want them to come to me first." Now make it explicit. So we're agreeing, if we have a problem with someone on this team, we go to them directly before talking to others. Can we commit to that? That's it. You just created a come to me first agreement. And here's why that matters. Kegan and Lahey say that shared agreement creates a social vehicle for peers to correct boundary transgressions. In plain English, it's not just you holding the line. The whole team holds it together. With an agreement, gossip becomes a clear violation that the whole team can see. Now when you redirect, you're not invoking your personal integrity. You're invoking something the whole team created together. Here's the old way. I don't like gossip. That's your personal preference. Easy to dismiss. The new way? Remember our agreement? We go to each other first. That's shared commitment. That's a completely different authority. So what does this sound like when you actually use it? Here's your base sentence. I hear you. That sounds frustrating. I want to honor our team agreement about going to each other first. What would it look like to bring this to them directly? Now, you know your people. Some need to hear it differently. So in a great book, Leading Change Together by Drago-Severson, her research shows that people make sense of feedback differently based on what they value most. Here's how to adapt. So for the relationship-focused person, the one who cares about belonging and connection, emphasize the team. It could sound like this. Because I want our team to stay connected and trusting, I'm going to stick to our agreement. How can we handle this in a way that protects everyone's trust? And for the rule follower, the one that wants clear expectations, keep it concrete. It could sound like this. Our team agreement is to go to that person first. I make it a point to follow that for everyone. So what's the specific next step you could take with them? And for the standards-driven person, that's the one who values professionalism and their own reputation. You could appeal to who they want to be. So it might sound like this. To maintain our team's integrity, I'm honoring our agreement. How does bringing this to them directly align with the standards you've set for yourself? Same agreement, same structure, different emphasis. You're meeting people where they are while holding the same line. So let's recap. Level 1, the 30-second redirect. Acknowledge, set the boundary as protection, redirect to action. That handles that one moment. Level 2, the culture shift. Ask the golden question. Create the agreement. Now you've got a social vehicle for peers to hold each other accountable. And adapt your language based on who's in front of you. I put together a resource with all the exact language, including the team agreement question and how to adapt your redirect based on who you're talking to. So grab that in the description. And look, the next time someone corners you with, "Can you believe what she said?" you'll know exactly what to say. 30 seconds, relationship intact, gossip stopped. If this was helpful, hit the subscribe. I put out videos every week on leading teams, coaching teachers, and solving real problems you're facing right now. And hey, I'll see you next time.